Welcome back to another episode of Reviewing Games. So you just bought yourself a Polymega base system. These are going to be 10 must-import games for your Polymega base system. These are going to be 10 games I would recommend that you install first to your Polymega system. Let's go ahead and install the first game, which was Capcom vs. SNK, Millennium Fight 2000 for the PlayStation. And for time, we're going to go ahead and fast forward through this install. Capcom vs. SNK took 8.7 minutes to install to the Polymega external hard drive. Let's go ahead and take a look at Capcom vs. SNK Pro Millennium Fight 2000 on the PlayStation.
Capcom vs. SNK.
This was the culmination of the Versus fighting games, where Capcom Street Fighter fighting against Neo Geo's SNK characters.
Which room do you like?
Of course, you get to select which groove you want to choose, Capcom or SNK.
Form up your team.
Bunch of different characters that you can get to choose from.
Find the order of the bout. Brace yourself.
And this is just a fantastic arcade fighting game released on PlayStation. It was also released on Dreamcast. Of course, there is loading between each match. Do you want to build up your X gauge so you can pull off those super special moves? This is on PlayStation 1. All you want to do is beat the other characters and move on to fighting the next character in a new location. Landing special moves and combos and super moves. It's just a fantastic game. Go ahead and move on to installing the next game, which was Guardian Force for the Sega Saturn Japan. And no need to fast forward through this install process. The game already fast forwarded for me. This only took 21 seconds to install. Let's go ahead and take a look at it on the Sega Saturn Japan. Of course, this is a vertically scrolling shooter. All you want to do is attack enemy waves coming at you as you make your way to that boss at the end of the level. Moving on to installing the next game, which is Radiant Silvergun for the Sega Saturn Japan. Radiant Silvergun only took 3.5 minutes to install to the external hard drive. Let's go ahead and take a look at Radiant Silvergun on the Sega Saturn Japan. Here's another shooter for you on the Sega Saturn. Of course, this is a fantastic vertically scrolling shooter where you control a ship and you're flying forward, attacking all kinds of different enemy waves flying at you. This would be a must import game for your Polymega base system. And of course the background looks like it's kind of 2.5D and it's going to rotate and zoom in and zoom out and do all kinds of crazy different things, showing off the power of the Sega Saturn. This would be a must import game for your Polymega base system. And all you want to do is fight your way forward through enemy waves as you make your way to that boss at the end of the level. Moving on to installing the next game, which is Pulstar for the Neo Geo CD Japan. Pulstar took 7.7 minutes to install. Let's go ahead and take a look at Pulstar on the Neo Geo CD Japan. Pulstar is a side-scrolling shooter on the Neo Geo CD, and visually, this one is just incredible to look at. This game has a very strong R-type feeling for me, as you have this kind of shield that hangs out in front of your ship and it can deflect and block enemy shots coming at you. All you want to do is fight enemy waves coming at you, pick up the power-ups to upgrade your shot, and make your way to that boss at the end of the level. Of course, I am going to start timing the import of the game as soon as this little CD icon shows up on screen, because the Polymega will start the import process as soon as you stick a CD into it. Let's go ahead and install the next game, which was Final Fight CD for the Sega CD. Final Fight CD took 4.7 minutes to install to the external hard drive of the Polymega. Let's go ahead and take a look at Final Fight CD on the Sega CD.
Metro City, a well-known crime capital, has been ruled by violence and death for many years. A fact which the newly elected mayor and former street fighter Mike Hager plans to change. At the center of the problem is the huge gang known as Mad Gear.
This Sega CD got the definitive version of Final Fight. This one was the closest to the arcade. Of course, it was 2-player simultaneous, and in addition, you could also choose to play as Guy, the red-clothed character. This is a side-scrolling beat-em-up where you're going to be fighting on the streets of Metro City, beating up bad guys and kicking thugs in the face, picking up items and weapons to fight with. And all you want to do is fight the enemy waves coming at you as you make your way to that boss at the end of the level. This is another classic beat 'em up on the Sega CD. Moving on to installing the next game, which is Strider Haru, an arcade card game for the PC Engine CD. Strider took 8.6 minutes to install to the hard drive of the Polymega. Let's go ahead and take a look at Strider with an arcade card PC Engine CD. And this is a side-scrolling action-adventure platformer where you're controlling a guy, and he's going to be swinging a sword, attacking enemy waves coming at you. As you pick up power-ups, and sliding underneath the spikes. Fighting mid-bosses and hiding from things dropping down on your head. As you hang from ledges and jump all over the place, attacking enemies coming at you as you make your way to that giant centipede boss at the end of the level. Moving on to installing the next game, which is Dragon Ball GT Final Bout for the PlayStation Japan. Dragon Ball GT took 3 minutes to install to the Polymega hard drive. Let's go ahead and take a look at Dragon Ball GT Final Bout on the Japanese PlayStation. Really cool FMV cutscene here in the beginning, showing us classic Dragon Ball Z anime. Love Dragon Ball Z. Sorry to hear that the creator of Dragon Ball Z and Dragon Ball, Akira Toriyama, passed away. Very sorry to hear that.
早速おめえの強さ見せてもらおうかな。おじいちゃんと戦うの
Dragon Ball Final Bout GT is a one-on-one fighting game, and it's kind of different because it's kind of like a 2.5 or 3D fighting game. I think it was the first of its kind for Dragon Ball Z, and I love this game. It has its own special charm to it, and all you want to do is power up your ki, and you get that cool burning aura around your character, which is just classic. And fight the other character, and if you're lucky, you can pull off one of those beam struggles, which is awesome. Moving on to installing the next game, that would be a high recommendation for me to get day one for your Polymega, and that is the Ninja Warriors for Mega CD. The Ninja Warriors took 5.6 minutes to install to the Polymega. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ninja Warriors on Mega CD. This is a very cool side-scrolling beat-em-up game where you control one of these cyborg robotic ninjas. It is two-player simultaneous, and you want to attack enemy waves coming at you, either with your swords or you have throwing knives. They might be called shurikens, I'm not sure. And all you want to do is attack the enemy waves coming at you, and you make your way to that giant tank boss at the end of the level. And this is a long episode, so we're going to keep going. Moving on to installing the next game, which is Silent Hill for the PlayStation. Silent Hill was a long one, 9.4 minutes to install to the Polymega. This would be a day one install recommendation. Let's go ahead and take a look at Silent Hill, PlayStation. Classic game right here, and just a beautiful FMV cutscene in the beginning of the game. A guy wakes up in Silent Hill, there's fog everywhere, doesn't know what's going on. It's just a classic horror movie premise, and this game delivers on story.
Cheryl? Is that Cheryl? Where are you going? Hey, wait! Stop!
atmosphere. It's amazing to see the camera work in this game, how the camera will change different angles and stuff. It's very cinematic in its own way. And of course, once things get darker outside, it's going to get a little bit crazier, a little bit bloodier, a little bit gorier.
This? What's going on here?
And you think you die, but you wake up, and there's a female cop that gives you a gun, and it's just an awesome game.
Was I dreaming?
How do you feel?
Oh, like I've been run over by a truck. But I'm all right, I guess.
Glad to hear it. You from around here? Why don't you tell me what happened?
Wait a second, I'm just a tourist. I came here for a vacation. I just got here. I don't know what happened. I'd like to find out myself. Have you seen a little girl? Just turned 7 last month, short, black hair. My daughter.
Sorry. The only person I've seen in this town is you.
Where is everybody?
I'd tell you if I knew, believe me. But from what I can tell, something bizarre's going on. That's all I know. What's your name?
Harry. Harry Mason.
Sybil Bennett. I'm a police officer from Brams, the next town over. The phones are all dead, and the radio too. I'm going back to call in some reinforcements. Hold it. Where do you think you're going?
My daughter. I've got to find her.
No way. It's dangerous out there.
In that case, I need to find her now. Cheryl's my little girl. I can't just leave her out there by herself.
Have you got a gun?
No.
Take this, and hope you don't have to use it. Now listen to me. Before you pull the trigger, know who you're shooting. And don't do it unless you have to. And don't go blasting me by mistake.
Yeah, thanks.
You do best to stay nearby. I'll be back with help as quick as I can.
Pick up some medicine.
What's that? Huh, radio. What's going on with that radio?
Of course, you gotta watch out for the demon that crashes through the roof of the building that you're in. And you gotta pop off a little bit, handle your business.
This is not a dream. What's happening to this place?
Don't forget to take that radio. As you step out into the wonderful city of Silent Hill. Moving on to installing the next game, Twinkle Star Sprites for the Sega Saturn Japan. Twinkle Star Sprites took 8.1 minutes to install to the Polymega external storage. Let's go ahead and take a look at Twinkle Star Sprites on the Sega Saturn Japan. after that wonderful animated FMV intro to this game. This was a kind of unique game that was found on the Neo Geo. Where it was a unique take on the vertically scrolling shooter genre, where you control a girl character. Well, this is the story mode. There's also versus modes where you can pick characters, and all you want to do is attack enemies on your side of the screen, and it would send garbage to the other side of the screen and affect the other player. And all you want to do is beat the other player and move on to the next level of the game, where you would fight kind of like this robot boss, which is pretty cool. And then he even shows up on your side of the screen. Here's another Saturn game for you, and this would be another recommendation from me to install to your Polymega. This was The House of the Dead for the Sega Saturn Japan. House of the Dead took 4.9 minutes to install to the Polymega, just under 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and take a look at House of the Dead on the Sega Saturn Japan.
Oh no!
Others are still inside. Save them!
Help!
Here's a game that would be great to play with that Polymega light gun whenever that comes out. It's going to be great to play with.
Sophie?
Logan, it's you!
Sophie!
The undead coming at you from every angle in this arcade shooting game. All you want to do is kill all the enemy waves coming at you and make your way to that giant boss at the end of the level. And of course, there's a little clip here. There's like a little file that shows you where the weak point will be on each enemy boss before you fight it. Classic game on Sega Saturn. And that last game we looked at was The House of the Dead on Sega Saturn Japan. A lot of really great games that you can install or import to your Polymega. And of course, we're going to do another import more games to our Polymega in the future, an episode about that. And I just want to say thank you everyone for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys next time.